Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially on the road to WrestleMania 40. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live as we are 69 days away from WrestleMania 40, and we are going to talk about last night's pay-per-view or premium live event. They're still pay-per-views to me. We're live, and of course, as Triple H said in the press conference last night, we're going to focus on the positives. Well, for the most part, it was a pretty positive show. Couple little nitpicks, I gotta say, about Royal Rumble. Some are just some concerns that I mentioned. I mean, the results, not upset by it. But it's just, again, just the concerns I have for where we go from here as far as the winners go. I mean, am I fine with the winners? Absolutely, of course. But it's just getting to WrestleMania. Just making things just a little bit more interesting. But overall still, I thought it was a fun show. A very fun way to kick off the road to WrestleMania 40. It was live from Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays, in St. Petersburg, Florida. We're going to get into the 4 matches. I almost got it right, just flip-flop the title matches. The Universal title match was on 2nd, and the U.S. title match was on 3rd. There is some news, though, coming out about CM Punk I've read from the Rumble, and it's a tad bit concerning. So, hopefully, we'll talk about it briefly at the end, but hopefully Punk is okay and doesn't continue to stay injury prone or whatnot. Because apparently he may have suffered something last night. Although I am hearing he seemed to be okay when leaving, for what I saw. But there was a couple of sources saying something about a tricep injury, which did kind of concern me a little bit. But again, we will talk about that when we get to the men's Royal Rumble. We just got Tyler live in a live chat so far, which is totally okay. But then, guys, make sure, again, you pile in here. Definitely make sure you leave your thoughts in the live chat. Keep things, of course, though, civil as always. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, as, again, we are still on the road to 2,000 subscribers as well. And we also got, we got Robbie One Kenobi in the live chat. We got to get his sauces here as well. He predicted 3rd time may be a charm for Pat McAfee competing in the Royal Rumble match. But when he finally entered the match last night, what a fail. Yes. I'm going to already throw it out there right now, which I will first check Twitter, because I did post a couple polls last night. Trying to get back into polls and live tweeting a little bit more often, as I should be, using the social media platforms for sure. I have 12 votes on what was your match of the night. So far, 17 votes on which Rumble match was better, the men's and the women's, and 24 votes on what grade would you give it so far. Of course, I will share those results at the end of the show as well. I'm going to get this out of the way, though. I didn't hate the men's Rumble, but it did disappoint me a little bit. Honest to God, I kind of enjoyed the women's Rumble a little bit more. The women's Rumble had a lot of surprises. It entertained the heck out of me, from R-Truth crashing the women's Rumble match, and a Grammy Award, Oscars, whichever award you call that, should go to Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I was laughing my ass off about all the mishaps with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. We had a couple returns from outside the company. We had a little bit of TNA crash the Women's Rumble match as well. A lot of things happened. Of course, CM Punk competed in his first WWE televised match for the first, on pay-per-view, of course, in almost exactly 10 years, which the last time, of course, was Royal Rumble 2014, which was right here in Pittsburgh, which we, of course, will talk about the whole stuff later. Tyler says we're going back to Cody and Roman again, which, again, I'm not opposed. I just wish it was done a little bit differently, as I keep saying. Rollins, I feel the men's Rumble match started strong, but lost steam as it progressed. But again, like I said, I'll leave my thoughts. As I do agree, again, I didn't hate the men's Rumble match, but it definitely disappointed me a little bit. I thought it was the weakest match of the show, if I'm being 100% real with you guys. I thought it was the weakest match of the show. But we're going to roll in now. We're going to stop talking about... Stop talking. We're going to start talking about it. Of course, both women's Rumble... Wow. It's Sunday evening, and I'm already loving my words. It's Sunday. We're going to talk about both Rumble matches, the women's and the men's, and, of course, the title matches. Of course, we will do 2 matches, take a quick breather, check the live chat as well to give people their time to get their thoughts out there. And we will, of course, roll from there. And again, please be sure to hit the like button, guys. And also make sure you guys subscribe as well. Again, I think we're at 1,968 subscribers. It'd be nice if I can get to 2,000 before WrestleMania. But I gotta get some momentum going on the channel again. But I keep saying, I shouldn't be, knock on wood, shouldn't be as busy for a while. So I'm hoping to get content on the channel a little more consistently than I was in 2023. But busy spurts will happen. We'll just have to wait and see. So let's roll in and let's talk about the show. And of course, the show did in fact open up with the women's Royal Rumble match, as predicted. The number 1 entrant was Natalya. She came out at number 1. Number 2 was a return. And it was the return of Naomi. And of course, she still has her fantastic entrance and whatnot that just gets you fired up. It was a nice way to start off hot. And you can tell also that Natty was happy to see Naomi back as well. Oh, wait, hold on. Forgot to switch to the graphic. You can tell also that Natty was happy to see Naomi back as well. They shook hands. They're really good friends in real life. And honestly, Naomi had a very great performance. Hopefully it's a good sign that they will be treating her better. Well, they should, because a certain somebody's gone. But she had a great performance in this Rumble match. She actually, of course, technically, briefly, did break a record until the winner of this Rumble match broke the record. Speaking of which, number 3 was Bayley, who was my pick to win. Either Bayley or Becky Lynch. Number 4 was Candice LeRae, and this is Candice's first Rumble, I think, on the main roster. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember when she... Might be her second on the main roster, because I feel she did return before Vince came back last year. She definitely returned after Johnny came back. But either way, it's probably her 4th or 5th Rumble appearance. She was number 4. Number 5. We got some TNA going on here as the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion Jordynne Grace appeared in the Rumble match. Definitely cool to see. I haven't really seen much of Jordynne Grace wrestle. I mainly know about Jordynne Grace because I know that she's definitely, as of now, Deonna Purrazzo's favorite match at Slammiversary a couple years ago for sure. But she's the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion. The second time, of course, in the past 2 years, we've had someone, a champion from TNA or Impact come over. 2022, they had Mickie James make a surprise appearance in the match, in the 2022 Women's Rumble. Number 6 was Indy Hartwell. Number 7 was Asuka. She came out at number 7. And we had our first elimination shortly after, which Indy Hartwell was eliminated by Bayley. Thank you, TN Couponer, for retweeting that. So Indy Hartwell was the first of 7 eliminations Bayley had this Rumble. Number 8 was Ivy Nile, who's another rising star that I've definitely got my eyes on. I think she's going to be big someday. Number 9 was one half of the now former women's tag team champions, Katana Chance, as they dropped the tag titles to the Kabuki Warriors the other night on SmackDown. Number 10 was the 2021 Women's Rumble winner right here in Tropicana Field as well, when it was the Thunderdome, Bianca Belair. And of course, she is excited to be back where she had one of the biggest wins of her career. This time, hoping to do it again in front of fans. She came with number 10. Number 11 was Kairi Sane. Brand new music as well. And then, now, I forgot to mention this before, more so when Asuka came out, but Bayley was very surprised to see them there. She didn't know that Damage Control was going to be in the match. But, of course, everybody but Dakota Kai ended up being in the match because Dakota's still hurt. But Kairi came out at number 11, and the 3 of them teamed up and eliminated Candice LeRae. Number 12 was Tegan Nox. And she got in there, just got fired up, did a few things. Then she met with her tag team partner, Natty, in the middle, hugged it out. But unfortunately, it's not a place for friends in the Rumble match, as they both tried to eliminate each other. But then Tegan Nox got the best of it and eliminated Natty. And then Bayley then eliminated Tegan. Very interesting, of course, to see where this goes, because it looks like that Natty's not mad that Tegan did that, but basically saying that Tegan's got a lot to learn. So, like I said, they're really building Tegan Nox with these, like, so close moments. And again, I don't know if they're going to have Natty or Tegan turn on each other at some point, which you think may happen. But they are seemingly still establishing Tegan in that underdog role, which she will be perfect for. Maybe next year we can talk about her maybe winning the Rumble match. I do think when done right, again, Tegan Nox can definitely tell that fantastic underdog story for sure. As long as she stays healthy, of course. But then Bayley, of course, then eliminated Tegan Nox. Number 13 was Kaden Carter. And then Kairi Sane saved herself from being eliminated, but she had her feet planted on the LED board underneath the ring. Both her feet technically did not touch the floor, and I don't know if this was a botch or if it was, meant to be how it was, but it was kind of like the moment where she got the big, save or a big avoidance from being eliminated. But she hung in there until it looked like Katana Chance and Kaden Carter came over and eliminated both her and Asuka. Kind of getting revenge, I guess, teasing a rematch maybe at Chamber or on SmackDown or Raw, because Kaden and Katana are on Raw, so they're sure we'll have to go over to Raw to be able to have the match. Again, unless they have it at Chamber, we'll have to wait and see. Number 14 was the Oscar, Grammy, or Emmy Award winning Chelsea Green. She came out, and of course, it was advised that Chelsea made her return to WWE in last year's Rumble match at number 20, but also she set a record by getting eliminated in 5 seconds. And I loved how they teased elimination with Bianca immediately trying to throw Chelsea over the ropes. She hung on, and then she got back in the ring. Bianca tried tossing her over again, and it didn't work. She stayed in the ring. It was one of many things. Wait till you get the Piper Nevin get in there. Then it got so goofy. I was cracking up. I was just cracking up at this. Chelsea Green, I think, was kind of like an unsung hero of this match. Her acting was just flawless, I thought. But then Jordynne Grace got eliminated by Bianca Belair with a very vicious TKO from Bianca to Jordynne. Not TKO, a KOD, I'm sorry. KOD, not TKO. That's the name of the group that owns WWE. KOD on the ring apron, which was very deadly sounding, but she had a good performance. Definitely glad she stopped by. Number 15 was Piper Niven. Let's wait till we get to somebody else getting entered, because I think when somebody else was involved and some moments with them, that's when it got goofy. But Piper Niven was number 15. Well, first, Chelsea almost got eliminated, but Piper caught her and, let her stay in the match. Didn't toss her out. Number 16 was Xia Li, which I'm pretty sure Xia's been in a lot of Rumble matches too, even before she got called up. I've lost track, though, because she definitely just isn't winning any of them anytime soon. Number 17 was Zelina Vega. She was wearing these wing-looking things. Not sure what they were supposed to be representation of, but cool. Speaking of which, we didn't get Elektra Lopez in this match. I thought maybe because she made her main roster debut on SmackDown the other night, maybe she would be in this match, but she didn't. But she was number 17, Zelina Vega. Number 18 was Maxine Dupri, making her first Royal Rumble appearance. Piper Niven would then eliminate Kaden Carter. Number 19, let's talk about them now. So number 19 was Nia Jax, who of course was definitely a favorite to win. And she would eliminate Xia Li and Ivy Nile. Looked tough, looked like very vicious, I think she chucked Ivy into a ring post or something about that. You know how I feel about Nia Jax and her not being the safest person to work with, so I was holding my breath on it, but I just wasn't, I can admit that Nia's gotten better. I still don't like her, but she is better. I felt she played her role right in this match. And she put somebody over towards the end, I will say. Did the right thing there. But especially when Nia Jax got involved. So, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Lately there's been a lot of times where they've had these mishaps where Piper goes for her I can't remember what she calls it, but it's similar to what Jack Swagger's Swagger Bomb was that they called it. And someone would roll out of the way and Chelsea would get squashed instead. Or somebody had Chelsea picked up and spinning her around like an airplane, and Piper was accidentally getting smacked with her foot. Or no, I'm sorry. Piper may have had somebody else on like an airplane thing, and her feet kept smacking Chelsea. Well, when Nia Jax was in there were times where Chelsea was in the corner, and Piper was going at it with Nia, and she was doing splashes on Nia in the corner, but Chelsea was behind her getting smashed like a sandwich. And Chelsea kept getting in the middle of everything Piper was doing, and she's just boo, 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 boo. She was basically getting ragdolled around and just knocked around like a freaking pinball. It was hilarious. And then of course there was a moment where she literally just dropped and just lay in the middle of the ring. And I just kept thinking of Christmas Story where they said Randy was laying there like a slug or whatnot. And that was Chelsea Green. It was hilarious. I was cracking up. It was Chelsea Green deserves an Oscar or whatever it is for her role in this match for sure. But that was all cracking up. But yeah, anyways, so Nia Jax came in and did that. Number 20 was Shotzi Blackheart, who came out. And we hadn't seen Shotzi for a while, but she's getting her hair back. I don't know if it was a wig, though, because there was one angle where it looked like it could have been a wig, or if she for real did take time off to grow her hair back. But Shotzi came out with her tank, at number 20. Bayley would eliminate Maxine Dupree. Nia would then eliminate Piper Niven. And she also eliminated Katana Chance. Number 21 was the man, Becky Lynch, who came in and went right after Nia Jax, as she is the one she is currently feuding with. Came in, did that. We'll definitely talk about a priceless reaction Becky had later on in the match. She did eliminate Chelsea Green. Number 22 was Alba Fire of the Unholy Union. Can we please just call her Kaylee Ray again? But she made, I think this was her first appearance in the Women's Rumble. They made it so that Isla Dawn, though, was not clear to compete. So I guess Isla's hurt. Maybe that's why they're still not doing much with her right now. I don't know. But she came in. I thought she looked pretty good for the time she was in there. Shayna Baszler came out at number 23. Now, number 24. Number 24 was Valhalla. But as she's entering, here comes R-Truth. And he comes running out and gets in the match. And everybody's like, this is the Women's Rumble, not the Men's Rumble. And then Nia Jax eliminates him in 13 seconds. Only for Valhalla to get in. And as she's getting in, Adam Pearce comes out and is like barking at R-Truth for getting in the wrong Rumble match. And I think he was saying something like, at first, I think backstage, he's also saying something like, you lost your hair again, because he got Nick Aldis mixed up in there as well. I think he mentioned Dominic or Tom and Nick or whatever it was, but it was hilarious. And then, of course, Valhalla got eliminated by Nia after 5 seconds after getting to the match, but that was hilarious there as well. R-Truth, which kind of gave away what number he was going to be, because he came out at number 24 in the Men's Rumble, as I expected. Forgot about it a second, but you know. But that happened there. Number 25 was Mia Yim. Naomi then eliminated Alba Fire. Number 26 was Zoe Stark, who I believe they double teamed and eliminated Zelina Vega, her and Shayna, as their tag partners. Number 27 was the first NXT surprise we had tonight. One of only three NXT surprises. 2 in the women's, 1 in the men's. Number 27, though, was Roxanne Perez, making her second Rumble debut. Is she getting called anytime soon? I think today she has a match with Lyra Valkyria at NXT Vengeance Day. Maybe she's going to lose and maybe then she'll get called up. I don't know. But I think Roxanne's ready. Roxanne's ready. Cora Jade, well, I think they really want to give Cora Jade a title reign, but Cora just keeps getting hurt, unfortunately, which is sad. Shout out to CM Punk also for paying one of his biggest fans, Cora Jade, a nice visit as well. So that at her injury, so that's getting class act by Punk. But Roxanne was number 27. Nia then went Rampage again and eliminated Shayna Baszler, Mia Yim, and Shotzi Blackheart, making that 8 eliminations, which she tied. I think it was Bianca and Rhea. I feel like somebody else may have gotten 8 before in a women's match, but she's tied the record for the most for women with 8. Speaking of 8, number 28 was a surprise entrant who I predicted to start at number 1, but she didn't. Number 28 though was the first ever AEW TBS champion, Jade Cargill, who had signed with WWE months ago. They kept her off TV though until she was ready. She came out and Nia Jax was the only one standing in the ring. And I'm like, oh boy, it's go time. It's like the monster who's been, the biggest part of the match, who even had a point where once or twice, everyone in the match tried to eliminate her and she was able to break free. Last year, she just got tossed out after a minute and a half in the Rumble. Jade came out though. I think she had the same theme song she did in AEW. And she went right after Nia. And she even eliminated Nia Jax. And funny part though was Becky Lynch was standing right next to Jade. She's walking right next to Jade. Jade just goes. I I love Becky. She always cracks me up. She always has something to give us a laugh about. She was like, like she was happy about that, about Nia getting, and she said she knew she was going to enjoy more, winning, which she didn't win, or watching Nia lose. And she got one of her wishes. Nia got to lose. Of course, I'm pretty sure before we get to Mania, she is going to have to go through Nia again at some point. I do think still that they're going to do Nia and Rhea though at Chamber. We'll have to wait and see, though. But yeah, Jade didn't do too bad. Seemed a little rusty at times, but she still did pretty good. Number 29 was Tiffany Stratton from NXT, who I expected her to be in this as well. And then, of course, number 30 happened. I was trying not to get my hopes up, but I was hoping it would have been AJ Lee. And I thought first it was, because when the bell went off, it was like a lengthy pause, but it was Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan returned. I think she's been gone for about 6 or 7 months. Wasn't sure she's going to be back yet because of her recent arrest, but she is back. And then she eliminated Zoe Stark. Tiffany Stratton eliminated Roxanne Perez. Jade Cargill eliminated Becky Lynch. I think it was just by getting ricocheted into she was like ricocheted in her, I think it was. Naomi then got eliminated by Jade Cargill, which Naomi briefly set a record by being in there for 1 hour and 2 minutes and 18 seconds. That broke Rhea's record of 1 hour and 1 minute from last year. So for the moment, Naomi had the record. But also what I thought was kind of cool was they had a couple times in the Rumble matches, they had this little graphic that showed like who's been in there the longest and showing their times. And yeah, I'm like, Naomi's coming up on there. So Naomi briefly broke the record. Actually, also, there was a moment in the match also where I think Jade had Becky on her shoulders. Bianca had I think it was Tiffany Stratton or Liv Morgan, one of the two, on her shoulders. And then they both just stared at each other, dropped them both behind them, and just had to stare down. With Charlotte being hurt, I think that's the match you're going to do at WrestleMania 40. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the match they did. But that was an awesome stare down. But anyways, so then we so Naomi got eliminated, and then there was this spot where both Bianca and Tiffany were on the apron. And Tiffany was about to be eliminated, but she grabbed onto Bianca's braid and held on until Bayley did like a baseball slide, I think it was, and eliminated both of them. Technically, Tiffany got eliminated first, but after this elimination, Bianca, after this elimination, there was only 3 people left. So technically the final 4, because Tiffany hit the floor first. The final 4, though, was technically Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Bayley, and Liv Morgan. And then I think similar to how it was last year. Last year, the final 3 fought each other off on the apron. It took 2 of them, though, to try to get Jade Cargill out. And Liv Morgan would eventually be the one to eliminate Jade. Because I remember, I think it was when one went for a kick or something like that. Bayley was... Or I think one shoved the other towards the post. Bayley was by the post, and she dodged it and rolled back into the ring, and Jade got eliminated. And then Bayley just, after Liv eliminated Jade, Bayley had another baseball slide again, knocked Liv off the apron, and as I predicted, Bayley won the Women's Royal Rumble match. The last of the 4 horsewomen to win the Royal Rumble match. Becky won it in 2019. Wait, no. That's a lot. Well, no. I got that really wrong because Sasha never won the match. I'm sorry. Sasha never won the Women's Rumble match. She got the main event WrestleMania 37 night 1, but she's the last person to get a singles title match at WrestleMania. So I completely goofed that up. Becky's won a Rumble 2019. Charlotte won it in 2020. Now, Bayley won it in 2024. So, I'm sorry. I goofed up there. That's my fault right there. I take that back. But that was Bayley's the last to have a singles title match at WrestleMania. So yeah, so it was all of them had their moments. Now it's Bayley's turn, and of course they showed that Io was watching from one room, Rhea was watching from another. The plan still is. Well, also got to mention there's a picture that also shows the last 4 or 5 people who got eliminated just sitting by the barricade, just watching all with all these sad looks on their face. I thought it was kind of priceless, if I'm being honest. So obviously here the story is Bayley wanted to win the Rumble match to go after Rhea. That way, everybody in the everyone in Damage Control, well, besides Dakota Kai because she's hurt, will have all that. Basically, they'll have all the titles in Damage Control. Of course, though, again, my only concern, again, I'm glad Bayley won because she's never won a Rumble match. My only concern is that how are they going to do this, though? You know that eventually it's going to be Bayley and Io at Mania. And Becky's probably going to win Chamber if they do a Chamber match, wherever the heck it is, and face Rhea at WrestleMania. I don't think Rhea's dropping the belt to Becky, as I'd like to see somebody else, don't know who yet, be the one to dethrone Rhea. Maybe Zoe still, as I thought months ago that Zoe Stark should be the one to win the Women's Rumble, but that wasn't the case. But, again, my only concern, though, is I wish the turn would have happened by now with Damage Control turning on Bayley. Because it's so obvious they're going to do it. My worry is they're going to provoke Bayley and they're going to make themselves look stupid. It's well, you kind of provoked her. You may think she's going to, pick Rhea, but, she may change her mind if the contract's not signed. I don't know. I just don't know how are you going to get this to where Bayley picks Io instead without making everybody else in Damage Control look stupid. I am a little concerned about that. I still wish, again, they would have just done the turn before, but we'll wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But Bayley was the right one to win, and she started off at number 3, so she technically broke Naomi's record. Because Naomi, of course, set the record with an hour and 2 minutes whenever she got eliminated. When Bayley won the match, she won it. She was in there for an hour and 3 minutes and 3 seconds, which is now, of course, a new record for the Women's Rumble match. And she also had 7 eliminations. Nia had 8. So yeah, some very great dominating performances and times, a lot of great surprise. Bianca was in there for 47 minutes also, by the way. Jordynne Grace was her only elimination. We have people like Katana Chance, Ivy Nile, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Nia Jax, and Zelina Vega were all in there for over 20 minutes. Jordynne Grace was in there for 19:10, by the way. So yeah, looks like we got, let me see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 women who got over 10 minutes in this Rumble match, which I think, of course, is, great. We didn't have a lot of eliminations in the first half. The men's kind of opposite. We had a lot more frequent eliminations in the men's Rumble match. But yeah, Bayley wins it. Like I said, I don't know what the story is going to be. Like I said, all I ask for is just don't make Damage Control look stupid. And, turning on Bayley and just making her decision easy to pick them. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. See what they do. Because the end result's still going to be Bayley versus Io. And again, Becky's going to probably win Chamber to face Rhea, which is totally cool with me. But yeah, I thought it was a fun match. Lots of surprises. Of course, including, again, I still think my favorites parts of this Rumble was definitely the moments with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven just constantly mishappen. And, of course, got to throw in there R-Truth entering the Women's Rumble match by mistake, of course. My bad. So that's the Women's Rumble match. We'll be talking about that again next year when we do the Women's Royal Rumble recap and review for the Retro Series. But for now, we say adieu to the Women's Rumble match. The second match on the card was the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship. It was the champ himself, the Tribal Chief, for 1,245 days, Roman Reigns. He took on the Viper, Randy Orton, going for his 15th world title. We got the megastar who faced Roman at Crown Jewel, and everybody's favorite, L.A. Knight. Yeah! And the fourth member of this match was the phenomenal, the two-time WWE champion, AJ Styles. As expected, it was a great match. I enjoyed it. What I really liked, though, was, to me, it felt like the biggest star of this match was definitely LA Knight. I think he was the one who I think just stood out the most. Yes, we had a very good near fall with Randy Orton hitting RKOs on everybody, especially when we hit one on Roman, and he was about to win until Solo Sikoa got involved in the match and yanked him out. And he did hit Samoan spikes to Randy, and I think tonight also. But then when he went to do a cannonball on AJ Styles, AJ dodged it and through the barricade went solo, and he never saw him again. So technically, Roman still won clean. Well, they were teasing to stack him and rack him and whatever the heck they were calling the when he won the triple threat at WrestleMania 37 with Bryan and Edge. Because every time Solo hit one of the Samoan spike, they stacked them, but made sure their shoulders weren't on the mat. Because then, of course, they made sure that both their shoulders were on the mat. That way, of course, they couldn't do the count. Then again, why did they just lay on their stomachs? But who knows? But anyways, I think actually after Solo went through the barricade, AJ hit a phenomenal forearm on Roman, and they all got stacked on top of each other, but they all kicked out at the 3 count there. Like I said, LA Knight, I think, looked probably all of them look great. But out of all of them, I think the one who came down looking like the bigger star of the match was definitely LA Knight. I think they protected him very well and still made him look very strong. I think Randy Orton and AJ Styles were the only one that got speared in this match. AJ was the one who actually ate the pin. Somebody had to, but I'm glad. I would have had either him or Randy take the pin. Well, I don't know. I still hate that AJ keeps taking pins. Because I feel like he's still not winning matches, which that may be what transitions him into, it probably transitions him into being a full-on heel, because I still feel like he's a tweener with this new character. I still think he's a tweener. They could maybe do him and LA Knight at Chamber, and eventually they'll have Knight get to Logan Paul at WrestleMania. We'll talk about Logan Paul in a second. That could happen there. Like, that could be a reason why Styles took the pin, so he can cement more of his heel turn. Because I'm still not convinced that AJ's a heel. I'm still not. But Roman speared AJ and pinned him to get the victory. And of course, he will not be at Chamber, from what I hear, which is stupid. He will, though, be at WrestleMania. And who will he face? We'll find out very shortly, because we did get that answer, of course, in the main event. All right, before we get there, we talked for almost 40 minutes already. Let's check the live chat, see what we got here. We got some good activity going on here in the live chat. I think we were right here, I think. with Robbie's message, we check something here. Nothing specific on my phone right now. I need to check. Robbie says, I feel Naomi is very underrated and maybe even underappreciated. I hope this second run of WWE goes well, especially with many of the current faces in the women's division. I agree. I still wonder if maybe Naomi will get involved in a storyline with Jimmy and Jade. If, of course, they continue the story. We'll talk about that when we get to the men's run, because that disappointed me. Robbie says, hearing Mike say, we got some TNA in here sounds a little naughty. Kinda, yeah, but, you know. What can I say? They haven't commented them. We got Mark in the live chat. Do you think Bayley is going to pull a swerve and challenge Io? Only if Damage Control, of course, turns on her, which I think is going to happen. But again, like I said, they got to do it in a way to not make them look so stupid, in my opinion. And we got Charlie Kelly. What's up, Charlie? Do you think, will Cody finally finish his story at WrestleMania? We will talk about that shortly. What happened with The Rock now? Is there a way he can still get into the main event at WrestleMania? We'll talk about that, of course, as well, too, when we get to that. I didn't expect Bayley to win. Is this the beginning of the end of Damage Control? Yes. R-Truth entering the Women's Rumble match was the funniest part of the night, he thought. He's heard rumors Brock Lesnar may be returning, but to fight for maybe the IC title. What do you think he'll come back before WrestleMania? I don't know, because Brock was in that stuff with Vince McMahon, which I did hear he was supposed to be in the Men's Rumble match. And whoever replaced him did exactly what Brock was going to do. So we'll talk about that, of course, when we get there too. But it's going to depend. I mean, I would love to see Brock and Gunther. If Gunther still has the IC title, I still want to see Chad Gable get another shot and beat him for it, though. But I'm not opposed to Brock and Gunther. If Brock, of course, is innocent. We have to worry about that. Why has WWE kept the U.S. title on Logan Paul when he's a part-timer? He doesn't deserve it. He's just a spoiled brat like his brother Jake. Amen? But, again, I still think he's holding that till Mania, and he will drop it to L.A. Knight. Yeah! That's what I'm still thinking he's going to do with that. Let me see here. Will Sol and Jimmy turn on Roman before WrestleMania, which will help Cody win, because otherwise Sol may help Roman retain again. Again, we'll talk about that when we get to it. I honestly thought WWE would have made Punk win the Rumble. What happens with Seth versus Punk now at WrestleMania? Once again, something to be left to talk about after the Men's Rumble match, but thank you for your comments and concerns. Truth was the only good thing of this Women's Rumble. Tyler thought it was weak. Different thoughts. What are your thoughts on Vince's allegations? I already talked about them. I already made a video about it. Not going to talk about it again, but feel free to check out though if you liked. If you like to. Tyler never liked Jade Cargill. Charlie thought that Ronda might have returned to continue her rivalry with Shayna Baszler. And hopefully she will return eventually. I don't think so, because didn't Ronda just recently sign with Ring of Honor? I know she made an appearance at a Ring of Honor show recently, but I don't know if she signed with them or anything. I wonder when Naomi will intervene with Jimmy and Jay's feud, as she is married to Jimmy. That's what I'm thinking. Tyler wants Asuka to be on her own. He wishes Charlotte was not hurt. It should be Bianca. Tyler, again, Charlotte got hurt on that rope spot. It wasn't, it is what it is. The one thing that I'm disappointed about is The Rock shows on the first day of the year, teases the match with his cousin, and yet never shows up to confront him. That may be coming. We'll wait and see. Again, that's a lot of stuff to talk about, of course, after the Men's Rumble match, but, Tyler thought the U.S. title match was the worst match of the night. Actually, again, I disagree. I still think it was the Men's Rumble match. Probably because, again, I got disappointed by that one a little bit. But yeah, good stuff in the live chat, guys. Thank you for being here with me live, as always. We're going to continue on as we are going to talk about now the U.S. title match with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. Now, of course, we all know I'm not the biggest fan of Logan Paul. Well, as a wrestler, he's great. Person-wise, I can't stand him. It was a good match, though. Some really good close falls, close spots as well. Logan did get the one lucky punch in on Kevin Owens without the brass knucks. And Kevin kicked out because the whole idea is not one like punch can keep him down like that and whatnot. And it's true. I did think the way they booked this match, they did make Kevin remain Kevin to look strong, which is good because even though Kevin Owens really has no direction right now, you still want to keep him relevant. Because any moment in time, they could pull the trigger and put a title on Kevin Owens. As I think he should get a title again at some point. I don't think it's going to be happening yet, but he really should, I think. But towards the end of the match, one of Logan's cronies come out again to try to sneak him the brass knucks. And security, though, catches him. And while that is going on, out comes Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, who have also had some recent beef with Kevin Owens. When the referee wasn't looking, Austin Theory sneaks Logan Paul the brass knucks. And Logan puts them on. Somehow I forgot how, but Owens got them off of Logan. And he put on the brass knucks. And he punches Logan in the face with them. And we're thinking, holy smokes, is either one, is Logan Paul going to kick out of a brass knucks punch? Or is Kevin Owens actually going to win the U.S. title here? Which would have surprised the hell out of me for sure. Goes 1, 2. Referee's about to hit 3. But then he notices because Kevin didn't take them off. He sees the brass knucks on Kevin's fingers. And he calls for the bell and calls for disqualification. I actually like that. I thought that was unique. Because, Logan Paul kind of got his revenge getting hit with his own brass knucks. But yet, of course, Logan don't get caught. But his opponent does. I'm guessing, and of course, after the match, Owens beat down Logan a little bit and did a pop-up powerbomb, I think, through the table. Not as vicious a beatdown as I thought it would be, but I'm like, oh, you probably just really pissed him off there. So, I'm expecting a rematch at Chamber. Maybe like a no DQ match. That's probably all it's going to be. This is just no DQ or no holds barred or, I don't know, Extreme Rules, something, maybe. A stipulation. But another match is happening at Chamber, I still believe. So yeah, that was good as well. And then we get to the main event of the evening. The men's 30-man Royal Rumble match. We're going to talk about this one in details again like we did for the women's. And we're going to roll from there. Start, of course, off with, the beginning and, of course, the end as well. So, roll in there. So, we open up the Rumble. Number 1 was Jey Uso. Number 2 was Jimmy Uso. And I said in my predictions, here it goes. This is where they really fuel back up and we get back into the direction of building towards Jimmy versus Jey at WrestleMania. Jimmy got in there and just looked like Psycho staring down Jey and whatnot. You could tell also too, Jey was trying not to break character and start cracking up laughing. Jimmy was like, what they're now being all think he's all tough and whatnot. Think he could be quarterback. Yeet. No yeet. That's what it was. So those two brothers started it out. Number 3 was Grayson Waller, who came out and wanted to start an episode of the Grayson Waller Effect. Nada. No thank you. Don't care for that. He got on the apron. I think Jey super kicked him off the apron, but he never got inside of the rope, so he technically wasn't considered eliminated yet. So he was number 3. Number 4 was a returning Andrade. Well, he has a whole new theme song, He seems to be back as a babyface. Not 100% sure yet because of who tried to tease being in an alliance with him later on in the match in a little bit. I was a little disappointed he came back as just Andrade. I thought with Vince gone, maybe he would be Andrade Cien Almas again, which I think he should go with that name again because I think it makes him look very neat. Like, just Andrade, it's like, yeah, it's fine, but Andrade Cien Almas just makes him feel that much special. But he is back. He 1 month ago, he was finishing up in AEW with his last match against Miro. But he came out number 4. Number 5 was Carmelo Hayes, which technically he's still in NXT, but he's kind of been making his transition over to SmackDown. So I guess that one is kind of an NXT talent, but he wasn't really a surprise to me. He would eliminate, of course, Grayson Waller. Goodbye. Number 6 was Shinsuke Nakamura, the 2018 Royal Rumble winner. Number 7 was Santos Escobar. He came out number 7. Number 8 was the head of the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, was number 8. Number 9 was Dominic Mysterio. He gloated outside the ring for a couple seconds, but he eventually would get in pretty quickly. Number 10 was Carlito, making his second Rumble appearance in the past 3 years. So he made his first when he made a surprise return at the 2021 Rumble, and he returned to WWE full-time last year. He came out at number 10, and of course the first person he targeted was Santos Escobar, because they have, of course, their history, and Santos is the one who wrote Ray off TV. And, of course, he even ate an apple and spit in the face of Santos Escobar, and he eliminated Santos Escobar. That surprised me. I really thought Ray would return and eliminate Santos, and we set up for that match for WrestleMania, but maybe it could still happen. I don't know. We'll see how Ray's knees are. But yeah, Carlito gets rid of Santos Escobar, which Santos actually did tease him and Andrade, kind of team it up together. He didn't want it. Andrade didn't want anything of it. Number 11 was Bobby Lashley, which he eliminated Carlito. And then he also eliminated Karrion Kross, who he is kind of feuding with right now. Which I was a little bummed to see. I wish they would have given Karrion Kross a little more time in this Rumble match. He was kind of in the same spot as last year. Came in around number 7 and 8. Got eliminated fairly quickly. And that was it. So I was a little bummed by that. But after Karrion got eliminated, out comes the Authors of Pain. And they come out, and off a distraction, Karrion Kross pulls Bobby Lashley on the apron and eliminates Bobby Lashley. Somebody else has been back in WWE since 2018, and every year that he's been in the Rumble, that is at least, he always gets eliminated so early. Why can't they give Bobby more time in the ring too? But he gets eliminated, and basically Street Profits come out, and the Pride and the Final Testament just brawl as they're in the midst of a feud right now. I don't know if it's set up for a match at Chamber between the 6 of them, or a match with Bobby and Karrion at WrestleMania. Who knows? But that all happened there. While that's going on, entry number 12 came out, which it is Ludwig Kaiser was number 12. Number 13 was Austin Theory. And until I looked up on the list of names who were in this match, I didn't realize that Austin Theory was the last person, a part of the SmackDown roster, to enter this match. Everybody else was members of Raw except for 3 others who were either free agents or an NXT star who still was left. But he came out at number 14. 13 was Austin Theory. Number 14 was Finn Balor, who he would eliminate Carmelo Hayes. Number 15 was one of the favorites to win, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So Cody came out and he eliminated Austin Theory. Bye-bye, bitch. Number 16 was the colossal Bronson Reed, which I think this is his first Rumble. I can't remember if he got last year's Rumble. He came out at number 16, and he would eliminate Andrade. Number 17 was Kofi Kingston. And unfortunately, it was a sad appearance again for Kofi. He wasn't in there so long. They didn't even try. Well, first, Cody Rhodes eliminated Shinsuke Nakamura. They've had some recent history. And then, well, I'm sorry. First, Kofi came out and he fought with Ludwig Kaiser because they're in the midst of a feud right now. And Kofi eliminated Ludwig Kaiser. Some nice little storytelling there, but probably set up for a more, brutal, like falls count anywhere, tag match, whatnot, or a tornado tag. Maybe tornado tags as a tag team. Maybe we'll see. But we got that, number 17. Number 18 was Gunther, who was also, again, a very heavy favorite to win. They even teased him possibly winning it. He would eliminate Kofi Kingston. And again, Kofi didn't even try any fancy spots to save himself. I think we made those days maybe past us because, again, every time he has tried to save... every time that he's tried, the past 2 years he's tried to save himself, it's been botched. So maybe they've moved on from it, which is unfortunate because there are always cool spots. But one, there's either so many times you can do it, other ways to do it, or two, sometimes it's run its course a little bit. But Kofi actually, I think, did move into second all-time in Rumble appearances with 16. The only other person who's done more than Kofi, I think, is Kane, I believe, with 17 or 18, one of the two. But he came out there and got eliminated by Gunther. Number 19 was Ivar. Now, number 20 is a very interesting one. I'll explain more about him, though, in a second. But number 20 was NXT's Braun Breaker. He was actually also another one of the best parts of the match. And he eliminated both Jimmy Uso and Finn Balor. Number 21 was Omos. First time we've seen him since that SummerSlam Battle Royal. I'm like, yay, lovely. Excited to see him? No. He just eliminated Bronson Reed. And then Braun Breaker eliminated Ivar. They're making Braun Breaker look like a pretty big monster. I mean, I know he's a big name in NXT. I feel he probably should have been called up by now, but I guess they're giving him some more time as a heel. I know he was teamed up with Baron Corbin in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I think they got to the semifinals, but I can't remember if they got to the finals or not. But yeah, he was dominating. He was spearing hell out of people. I just love seeing how fast he is and just how explosive he is. Yeah, Omos came in, eliminated Bronson Reed, and then Braun eliminated Ivar. Number 23 was number 22, which I know this is one of Robbie's biggest appointments too, and I agree. Number 22 is Pat McAfee, who is special guest commentator for the night. And I'm like, awesome. So I'm like, awesome, Pat's in the match. Well, Pat gets in the match, and immediately the two people with eyes on him were Omos and Braun Breaker. Pat has second thought, steps out. Is he about to eliminate himself? And he's like, no. He goes to climb back in because everyone wants to see Pat in this match. I want Pat in this match. And yet, he gets in there. Yes, I get he's being cornered by two big men, but Pat McAfee's a babyface. Why are you having a celebrity babyface that everybody loves to see wrestle when he gets a chance, and instead he walks out? He eliminates himself from the match. And I'm like, really? If it was someone like I don't know, Miz or I hate to say it, but Dominic Mysterio or I don't know, somebody who what's nothing to do. Even even Austin Theory or Grayson Waller. Who else could this possibly have been? let me see here. I don't know. Like, I don't know who else could have done it, but someone with a little more credibility, or someone a little more heelish. Like, why? Why did he do that? Like, I don't get why they did that. They made him look like a freaking chump. I hated it. I did not like that. That's one thing I definitely disliked about this Rumble. While that was happening, though, Braun Breaker would then eliminate Omos, giving him 4 eliminations. But then Braun Breaker was eliminated by, of all people, Dominic Mysterio. And I was like, huh. Like, they really had, of all people, eliminate Braun to make him look like a monster, like Dominic? Then I read this morning on Twitter, a few people were tweeting about this. Apparently, Braun Breaker was not supposed to be in the Rumble match originally. Apparently, Braun Breaker replaced Brock Lesnar after Brock was supposed to be in it, but of course he had to get pulled because of the allegations with Vince, because he was mentioned in them. And for what I'm reading, it sounds like basically Braun Breaker just played Brock Lesnar. He basically did exactly what Brock was scheduled to do. And it sounds like he was even supposed to be eliminated by Dominic Mysterio. Which I'm like, we would really be setting up for Brock Lesnar and Dominic Mysterio? Like, I don't know about that one. Like, if it was... I think back to when Dom got involved with Ray's match against Brock in, was it 2018, I think it was? Or 2019, one of the two. I think it was 2018. 2018 had to be. Was it 20? I can't remember which one it was. One of the two. Either 2018 or 2019. One of the years he... No, it was 2019. Because 2019 was when it was NXT, SmackDown, and Raw Survivor Series. And they had... I think all the titles were defended. I know Bray Wyatt defended it against Bryan Danielson. And we had Pete Dunne and Adam Cole for the NXT title. Yeah, so it was 2019. When Dominic got some good offense in on Brock. And I'm like, that he was able to hang with Brock. But, I don't know, as a heel, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know how I felt about Dominic and Brock right now, but interesting fact though. But good pick with picking Braun though to replace him if that's a chance. As I said, they made him look like a monster. And he cut a promo in a backstage interview exclusively after the show. He may be headed to the main roster, which, my goodness, finally get him here. He should have been here last year, I thought. So hopefully it's a sign that he's coming up. I hope so. Where are we at here? Oh yeah, number 3 was JD McDonough. On his way out, Braun speared JD McDonough, which he was also saying he's not finished with Judgment Day. So I wanted to bring him up as a face. We'll have to wait and see. Number 24 was R-Truth. Came out the correct Rumble. He tossed JD into the match, but then stood on the apron and held the ropes as if he was going to get tagged in. Dominic actually did tag him in. Well, after he threw in JD, Jey Uso eliminated JD. So after Dominic tagged him in, R-Truth ran like rough shot and like started, getting offense. I don't think he eliminated anybody, but freaking R-Truth. Live, laugh, Judgment Day. Live, laugh. Oh my gosh. He even, of course, imitated John Cena, his childhood hero, which again, he's older than John Cena. Oh, man. Number 25 was The Miz. Tease, of course, an awesome Truth reunion again. Number 26 was Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, who he immediately went after R-Truth, and he eliminated R-Truth. Will R-Truth even remember being eliminated, though, by Priest? Who knows? Number 27 was my pick to win, CM Punk. Entering again his first Royal Rumble match. His first match in WWE on TV. since 2014. Which again, he was in the Royal Rumble match of 2014 and was eliminated by Kane. And he got rid of Dominic Mysterio. Number 28 was Ricochet. Gunther then eliminated The Miz. Number 29 was Drew McIntyre. And while this was going on, Gunther then eliminated Jey Uso, who had started off at number 1. And I think out of all the men, he was in the match the longest in this match at 50 minutes and 55 seconds. Second longest was still in the match, but we'll get to him at the end. And Jimmy Uso was in. There was 5 men who was in the match for over 30 minutes. And then 6, 7, 8. Only 8 who got more than 20 minutes. Which is strange, because they had a lot more eliminations in this match. But I gotta talk about it, though. One thing that I was very disappointed with, with this match, like I said, I think why I enjoyed the women's match more than this was because this one didn't have as many surprises, and also didn't really have anything to really set up for. Well, maybe a couple things, but. Other than at the beginning, and a few times where Jimmy, teamed up with someone else to attack Jay, why didn't either Jimmy or Jay, eliminate one or the other? Or, if Jimmy got eliminated, why didn't he come back out and eliminate Jay? There was zero progression with the Jimmy and Jay storyline. Which now leaves me wondering, when are they going to start teasing it? Because it's obvious that should be a match for Mania. It'd be dumb to skip out on that match. But also, especially again, because Jimmy Uso, again, since he's turned heel, he's gotten no character development. He's a freaking chump. He's the Bloodline's jobber. He eats the Bloodline's pins. The whole match, he's trying to make buddies. Hey, yeah, we worked there, right? Boom, he gets hit in the face. Yeah, we worked there, right? Boom, gets hit in the face. That's all Jimmy Uso was. He's a freaking punching bag. Now, the only other thing I can think of is they've seemingly been teasing the match with Gunther and Jey Uso. Maybe they'll do that match at Chamber where maybe Jimmy will cost Jay the match there, and then that's when they finally had them geared toward WrestleMania. I don't know, but that was a big disappointment there for me. The fact that they didn't really progress that storyline. But Jey Uso did get the longest time out of any of the guys in this Rumble at 50 minutes. So that was nice to see him get that recognition. That happened there. And number 30 was a returning Sami Zayn, who immediately went right after Drew McIntyre, which I'm thinking they could be set up for that match at WrestleMania also. Either then or Chamber, we'll have to wait and see. But he went in there and he brawled with Drew most of the time. Drew actually eliminated Ricochet when Ricochet went for his thing where he counters a kick and does a backflip and goes to something else. Well, this time when he did the kick part, Drew took his leg and just chucked him high over the rope. That was a nice spot there. And then Sami Zayn would eliminate Damian Priest. And then Drew eliminated Sami Zayn, leaving the final 4 to be exactly who it is in this graphic. Same one was in the graphic with the live reactions last night. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther. Nah. And basically, it was none of these men were going out easy. There was a moment where it looked like McIntyre may have gotten some upper hands as he was hitting claymores on everybody. But eventually, McIntyre got eliminated by Punk. And the look on the face, not sure maybe they're going to if possible, they did kind of tease a match with Punk and Drew. Will it happen? I don't know. I still think, don't want to spoil it, but that's a possible tease. I still think they're going to do Drew and Sammy at Mania. But you never know. They could go with Punk and Drew. Or unless if Gunther... I wasn't going with that. I don't remember. But anyway, so then it came down to Gunther, Cody, and Punk. So then they went at it for a bit. And then Gunther got eliminated by Cody Rhodes. And then it came down to Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. And just like last year, they went back and forth for quite a few minutes. Quite a while, too. Not sure how long. Well, obviously enough, because Cody Rhodes entered number 15 and was in it for 43 minutes. So obviously they're trying to give him the length in there as well. They went back and forth, hitting finishers at crossroads, GTSs. You didn't know who was going to do it. But then, towards the end of the match, I think Punk said something like, and you can understand what he's saying, you hear him say, I didn't wait 10 years to come back and lose to Dusty's son. Goes for another GTS. Cody counters it. Tosses Punk out of the ring. And for the first time in 26 years, we have someone win back-to-back Royal Rumble matches. As Cody Rhodes repeats and wins the Royal Rumble match. And then afterwards, throughout the match, we do see that Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were both sitting up in like an upstairs like balcony or whatnot, watching the matches. Cody points towards the WrestleMania sign, and he turns around. He points to Roman Reigns. It's very obvious that Cody's going to go back to Roman Reigns, and he wants to finish the story. And that's how we went off the air. Now, there's several things I think that people asked me about that I wanted to touch on. I want to make sure I get to all of them, so I'll check the live chat again. Before I do that, though, I do want to mention, I was told and read a rumor that CM Punk may have hurt his elbow, though, last night. Apparently, he landed funny on it when Drew hit the Future Shock DDT on him. I think people said he seemingly was walking out like he was okay. Because some people said when he originally tore his tricep, I think, back at All Out, right before Brawl Out in 2022, he was holding his arm. But this time I don't think he was. So hopefully he should be okay. Because it hit me with the fact that, like, oh crap, Punk's been injury prone the past couple years. I hope that doesn't put a wrench into anything as well. That's one of the last things we need is Punk getting out again, which would be frustrating. But I just want to mention that in there. Hopefully he is okay. But I remember making sure I don't miss anything, because I've read some stuff in the live chat that said we'll wait till the end. Make sure I get to all of it. So, what are my thoughts on this? Well, first, as I said before, I was a little disappointed with this main event. It was my least favorite match of the night. It was solid, decent to solid. I think just what bothered me about it was, first off, again, there was no surprises. There wasn't really anything that built towards other matches. Again, maybe Sammy and Drew, but again, like Jimmy and Jay, like, they ran into each other, but then it's like they still minded their own business most of the match. And then I knew there was a good chance that Cody Rhodes could have won this. Am I mad Cody won? No. But think about it, though. Since his feud with Brock ended, which, again, and this kind of shows they should have just had Cody finish the story at SummerSlam last year. Because as soon as his feud with Brock ended, everything he was involved with was kind of just filler. Like, okay, you thought maybe something with Jade coming over could have been something, but, you know, he wasn't traded to SmackDown because of him bringing over Jade. So now he's winning the Rumble, and this is the problem I have with him winning I'm not saying problem, but this is why I would have rather have had Cody get back to Roman another way rather than winning the Rumble. Because it feels like the same exact thing. Like, we know Cody has nothing else to go through to get to WrestleMania. He punched his ticket. Unless someone, like, puts his spot on the line or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else they can do. Because now it's like, we know that it either has to happen this year or it's done. I mean, yes, they can remind him, well, you didn't win last year. But remember, he didn't win clean last year. The reason why Cody Rhodes is not champion is because of Paul Heyman. He took care of Jay. Jay's not even with the bloodline anymore. He took care of Jimmy last year. And even on the Raw before Mania, he beat Solo Sikoa, gave Solo his first loss, and also had Solo ejected from ringside. So the only other way Solo got back in was because after, I think either when he went for the next Crossroads, Paul Heyman distracted the referee. I've been saying this for the past year. Roman Reigns' Nagini is Paul Heyman. As long as Paul Heyman is in Roman's corner at 100% stamina, Roman ain't dropping that belt. And that's something that has to be addressed in this match and in this build, is that Cody Rhodes is only not champion because of Paul Heyman. That's the only reason why. So again, this something else has to be done to make this a little more interesting. Again, that's the problem I was going to have with Cody winning this Rumble. Again, am I mad he won? No, he deserves it. But again, it feels like since SummerSlam, it's just been nothing but filler. Did anybody really think that Shinsuke was actually good? Even, again, I like the new character name for Shinsuke, but did anybody think that Cody was actually going to beat Shinsuke? No. I never thought, did anybody think Shinsuke would ever beat Cody? No. I knew Cody was going to be winning those matches. But, again, I would just rather have him get there a different route. Just my opinion, but we're getting it. I feel like, though, they have at least made it this instance where it's like, okay, because sometimes they'll do that with baby faces. They'll do this thing where it's like, they lose opportunities, but, we can forgive them and we still are behind them. I feel like this time, they have Cody in a position where he's got to win or people are just going to move on from him. Which makes me more and more believe that hopefully this time they will pull the trigger. Because last year, again, Cody wasn't ready. He had only wrestled just a handful of matches since coming back. He had been gone for 7 months. Brought it back at number 30 at the Rumble and won it. It was much more being handed on a silver platter than it was this year. Even though it was very similarly structured of a match. But at least this year, everybody is disappointed Cody didn't do it last year. They want to see him win it. Of course, things even got brought even more complicated when The Rock showed up and basically fired a shot at Roman Reigns. Which leaves me to, I think, the question of, how could The Rock still get involved? Well, first off, there's no triple threat. I think now with Cody winning the Rumble, it shows that most likely we're not getting Rock and Roman this year. What I think it might happen, because a friend of mine, my friend Daniel Gaiza, who I did live reactions with last night, he said if Jimmy and Jay still fight each other, and then that will equalize them. Obviously, Cody will have some help. I'm sure somebody's going to want to equalize Solo. And The Rock could be the one, when it comes that moment where Paul Heyman tries to cost Cody the title again. The Rock could be the one to take care of Paul Heyman. And that will be how they get Paul Heyman out of the picture. And Cody Rhodes will be able to get a clean finish. Which, because of that could when they obviously steered more towards Roman and The Rock. Because can I be 100% honest? Well, besides the fact that I said that I just didn't feel like Rock and Roman and Cody and Roman should be overshadowing each other, I still would rather see The Rock and Roman without a title involved. So even though, which I still think WrestleMania is the right time to do this match, unless maybe they do it at SummerSlam instead. Just don't do it at an overseas show. Because, again, I'm sorry, but like they're going to be having those at like 5 or 6 a.m. Well, depends on where they are. You want this to be a little more of a nationally known show, like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. Again, preferably WrestleMania, even though at this point it'd be... I mean, last year WrestleMania was in Hollywood. I could see it happening then. This year's WrestleMania 40, which, yes, it's in a random place in Philadelphia, but it's a 40th anniversary WrestleMania. I guess WrestleMania 41 will be when they do it, and give it like a year-long build. Have The Rock be the one to take out Paul Heyman, and basically Roman will then be vulnerable, and Cody will be able to win. That's where I see it going. Because I think... I can't remember who my friend suggested could take out Solo. Let me see here. I can't find it. I can't find it. I guess there's no one else, or maybe Rock takes out Solo and Heyman. I don't know, but either way, Rock can be used as an equalizer at WrestleMania this year to tease a future match with Roman at WrestleMania 40. But yeah, so like I said, it was a good match, a solid, decent to solid Rumble match. Like I said, I think I expected a little bit more from this men's Rumble match, which is gonna bring me to the end. That's my thoughts on the 2024 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Again, I thought it was a good show. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. Again, other than the men's disappointing me a little things. But let me see, check the polls real quick again, see what we got here for votes. What grade? We had 24 votes, 17% said A, 29% said B, 42% said C, 12% said D or lower. And there were 17 votes on which Rumble match was better. 17 votes, 53% said the women's, while 47% said the men's. And then what was the match of the night? There was 12 votes on that. 75% said the women's Rumble. 8% said the Fatal 4-Way. Nobody said the U.S. title match. And 17% said the men's Rumble match. I would definitely agree that the women's Rumble match was my match of the night. And of course it was better than the men's. And I gave the show, honestly, even though I was a little disappointed with that men's Rumble, I still gave the show a B+. Again, I really enjoyed the women's Rumble. I think I gave the women's Rumble a B+, the men's Rumble a B-. I thought the Fatal 4 was great, especially with LA Knight being the star of that match. And then the US title match was good. Again, creative finish, probably going to lead to another match with Owens and Paul at Chamber, but, you know, cool by me. Anything else in the live chat? Why was AJ and Knight in the Rumble? They weren't in the Rumble. That rope spot should never happen with Charlotte and Asuka last month. It was a botch. It happened. He doesn't like the yeet thing. Cody was the right winner to win this year's Rumble. They better not do a same BS like last year with Cody and Rumble. Like I said, this year they better not stop that. This year they better not miss the opportunity. He also said stop pushing Ivar. Number 21 should have been LA Knight. Number 22 should have been AJ Styles. He really doesn't like some certain people there. Oh yeah, also by the way, I forgot to mention, besides Jey Uso being there the longest at 50 minutes and 55 seconds, for eliminations this match, there was a tie with 4. Cody Rhodes had 4, Braun Breaker had 4 in the men's Rumble match. So that was the numbers there, I forgot to mention that. KO should have been in the Rumble. R-Truth was more funny in the men's Rumble. Punk did look good in the match. Yes, he did wrestle in AEW. Thank God The Rock was not in the match. Mark said Jay versus Jimmy with their father as the special guest referee. Get Rikishi in there? Cool. I'm going to be opposed to that. Again, I think with Naomi back, maybe she'll get involved in the storyline as well. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, if she sticks with her husband, she may have to try to turn heel for that, but that could be interesting for sure. So though we'd always have a female in the bloodline, but I guess not, because Roman's about to drop the title. There's no need for him to keep that to WrestleMania 40, especially if Cody's facing him again. There's no reason for him to keep the title, in my opinion. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. I think I'm going to get out of here. Been here for about an hour and a half. It's a long live streams lately. That and the Vince McMahon one. Again, someone did ask earlier if I do want to hear my thoughts about the Vince McMahon allegations. I made a video on it already. Go watch that. I've already talked about it. I'm just ready to move on. Like I said, some little nitpicks, because of, the issues with Cody. I have with Cody winning, and the only problem I have, even though she was my pick, the only problem with Bayley winning again is the fact that Damage Control has not turned on her yet. Hopefully CM Punk is okay. Again, we'll probably get Punk winning Chamber to face Seth Rollins. Or, again, he could face Drew. But I do see maybe Drew versus Sammy instead. We'll have to wait and see. I'll give the Rumble pay-per-view a B+. So the fun show, great crowd, great matches. Yep. What's your guys' thoughts on all of this? Which Rumble match did you enjoy better? What was your match of the night? Will Cody, in fact, finish the story this year? And what grade would you give the show and each of the Rumble matches? Again, B+ for the women's, B- for the men's, B+ for the whole show overall. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content to my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at the Club with the Man 93. And also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club with the Man 1993. And with that, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. We're on the road to WrestleMania 40. And during that time, as always, I will still always remain the man. Because in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!